Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's my Friday. I'm on my way to serve my time. It's a nice sunny morning here in OC, California. It's going to be a hot one today. That's okay. Maybe I'll go for a little jog after work, see how I'm feeling. I really want to get some running in on my weekend, get some sun. I'm not giving up on my my fitness goals. I'm just taking a break, couple weeks, because I had the leg problems, the knees, and a little bit shoulders, and then like my knot in my back. It's been kind of a rough couple weeks, I'd say. I don't know what happened. I just kind of, maybe it's just all the working out I was doing. It caught up to me. It kind of wore me out, and I wasn't taking enough breaks. Could be that, or I don't know. But something happened. I kind of took a couple steps back, but I'm still good. I feel much better. There's nothing wrong with me today. My legs are better. My knot's gone. My shoulders feel fine. So I'm gonna just start with going back to just jog walking or just jogging, getting my vitamin D, start from there, and then next week I'll do my elliptical on my lunch break for 20 minutes, and I'll take it from there. I'm not going to do weightlifting because I do have like a chest exerciser I've been using just at home, and some power bands that I use to work my upper back and my arms, just to keep tension in my upper body. I don't necessarily need to be lifting a lot of weights because I got plenty of muscle. I don't want to be muscle bound. I want to stay loose and loosey-goosey, you know. I feel better this way. I just want to get my belly flatter and my energy up and my skin nice and tan, and I'll be good. I'll be gold, literally. So that's what's going on there. That's, you know, what the plan is. More cardio than anything, though. More cardio is where it's at, because if you got your cardio, your muscles tend to come along with it naturally, actually. You know, and like if you have really good cardio and just lean muscle, you're gonna be a lean, mean, kick-ass machine, man. You know, a lot of them really big muscular guys, you know, there's some exceptions, but most of the time they're not the lean, mean badasses, man. Okay, it's all for show. So, you know, in my theory, I don't want to be super muscular. I just want to be strong. I don't need to be like powerlifting strong. I just want to be strong, okay, and have good stamina. That's where it's at, stamina, okay, and speed. But that's the goal, you know. So I just wanted to touch a little bit on that. That's where I'm at with it. Eating right. I'm still eating good. I haven't cheated in a long time, and you know, everything's good there. Well, my one bowl of ice cream in the evening is the extent of my food addiction, okay? And my 2 scoops of sugar in my coffee, my 1 cup of coffee in the morning every day. That's it, okay? That's my sugar doses. So I was, you know, I'm watching stuff on the news and on YouTube, you know, it's inevitable. The political shit's gonna creep its way in, right, on the screen. And, you know, I've read Trump's agenda on the White House site, and there's a couple of things, but the one major one that really I'm kind of raising an eyebrow about with Trump is his, you know, making the streets safe. Kind of how he's going about it, you know, with this really tough approach with the National Guard and whatever, government, National Guard, the Marines, whatever he's using to beef up the, police presence on the streets, starting with DC and, maybe Chicago and LA is coming. And, this whole thing about cleaning up the streets and making it illegal to loiter, camp in public, sleep in your car. And to me, I think that's going too far. Okay, there's got to be a less evasive way to do it. Okay, you just can't clump everybody together. You can't clump, people that are just struggling, that are in between places to stay, or there's people that choose to live a camper life or to live a tent life or just sleep outside, or people that like to just hang out and enjoy their day. You shouldn't, it's not a good idea to clump those people in with the criminals, the drug addicts that, make the streets not nice, and these homeless camps that are filthy and gross. It's not fair to clump it all together and just make a big sweeping deal, where you're like making it a crime to live in poverty, to be impoverished, right? It's not right. And this really hard stance and sweeping method, it just doesn't gel with me, because I think I said this in one of my other videos. In the back of my mind, I've been homeless. I've been there, done that, and it's not all that bad. At least the times I experienced it, it wasn't bad at all, really. In fact, there was times where it was kind of very free feeling, very, very free. That I had that sense of freedom. Like, I didn't have to worry about nothing, really. There was places for me to get food. I had a little place to lay my head when I was sleep time. I had a place to shower. And it was like a security blanket, a safety blanket for me. And no one was harassing. Nobody was harassing, and it worked. It did what and I slept in a tent in my bro's backyard. I slept in my van for a couple of years. So and no one messed with me. And, to me, that's like a major, to take that away, to make that illegal, it really changes the way I feel about where I live here, okay? Because I don't plan on living like that again, but just knowing that I can do that, it makes me feel better. It makes me feel safer, okay? And if that's taken away, I'm not going to feel that anymore. I'm not going to feel like I have that safety blanket, that security blanket, right? And there's just times where that is necessary to get you through, right? And if you can't even do that, and they're making it harder to get jobs with AI coming in and all this, and it's like you got rent and the cost of living out of control. You got AI coming in, going to be taking jobs. A lot of the service jobs are going to be taken by AI, okay? And then you're going to make it illegal to be homeless, or even just being able to hang out in public in certain places. That's bondage, man. That's straight bondage. And the point I'm trying to make is, you know, this thing that Trump is doing, blanketing this whole deal. And you know, the thing that I kind of don't like about Trump, I still support him. He's still my dude, but in certain areas he goes way too hard. Okay, he goes way too hard, and I don't like the way he might be blanketing everybody. You know, meshing us all together. Okay, the people that work, the people that are just having a rough time, or the people that choose to live like that, lumping us in with criminals and drug addicts and, you know, bad people that, you know, are there by bad choices. Okay, it's not fair to lump us all together like that and go so hard on it just because people want the street. How about clean up the streets of the drug addicts and the criminals and leave the rest of us alone? Okay, that would be doable. But the way that he wants to do it, to me, I'm not gonna lie, between that and maybe some of the way he's dealing with a lot of the tariffs, that's gonna jack up the prices on a lot of stuff. Those are the two major issues I have with Trump. Okay, those two: the homelessness, loitering thing, cleaning up the streets deal, and probably some of the tariffs, although I'm not seeing the effects of the tariffs yet. Yet is the key word. So we shall see on that. And also I haven't seen the effects of this cleaning up the streets, making the streets safe again agenda either, because it hasn't actually been put into place here. I think it has in DC, but not here yet. I haven't really looked that much into the DC clean up the streets deal yet, but I will eventually get to that. But from what I'm seeing right now, those two things I'm not really down with. Okay, I'm not down with it. And I think there's a much more, there could be a better approach to those two things: our economy and making the streets safe and clean again. Okay, not such a hard attack on it. It's not necessary, and it's going to cause too many problems for people. And honestly, just those two subjects alone, he could lose the presidency over that next election time, because that's how important those are, I believe, to me and a lot of the voters out there that even voted for Trump. I think that could really turn them off. Okay, those two things. You know, I don't know so much about the tariffs, because I think they are working in some. He's doing a lot of good things, don't get me wrong. His agenda's good, but in certain areas he's going way too hard, and it's going to be very disruptive to a lot of innocent people that don't need to be charged as criminals just because they happen to live in their RV or don't happen to live in a house or an apartment or something. You know, that's not fair. And to me, it's almost a deal breaker, man, because it's a little bit reckless with our society, actually. You know, I mean, to me, freedom is number one. Okay, freedom, having the ability to be free, is number one, besides health, of course. Health and freedom are my two number one loves in this country. Okay, health is first. Health is first. Got to be healthy. That's number one, because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Okay, and then number two is freedom. That is so important. Freedom of speech, freedom to move around, be where you want to be, when you want to be. Okay, that's important. If you don't have that, you're in bondage, man. You know, and then the economy is up there too, probably along with freedom, because if the economy's way out of control, nobody can afford anything, well, you might as well not be free either, because you're not going to be able to do anything without you're just not going to be able to do anything because you won't be able to afford to do anything. You know what I'm saying? But I was thinking about that, and you know, if Trump goes through with this whole make the streets safe again agenda and starts making it illegal to be in between houses or live the RV or whatever, not house life, it might be a deal breaker for me, dude. Really. Because my number 2 most important thing, man, is freedom. And if you take that away, I'm not voting for you. I'm not voting for you. I'm sorry. As much as he's my dude, that would probably be a deal breaker for me, because my freedom is pretty much number 1. You start messing with that, you're done. So I'm going to go ahead and end it on that. I got to go serve my time. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. And I hope you all have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you later.